Welcome back to News First on PNC. This morning, Acting Police Chief Joseph Cruz spoke at a press conference to share his appreciation for the community's camaraderie with GPD. We head over now to PNC's Brittany Bell to find out more. Brittany?
Thanks, Clint and Janella. Acting Chief of Police Joseph Cruz is making it a point to forge the community and the police department together. I asked him about the contrast between what they are doing here on Guam and what is noticed in the U.S. mainland, where the civilians and the police department have a distinct trend of separation. He says they notice, and that is why it is so important to keep on with his efforts for Guam.
Go online and I monitor these types of incidents that are occurring stateside. And as I notice those kinds of trends occurring on the mainland, I always make as a staff, we make a concerted effort to work with the public, and it's all part of that collaborativeness that I have mentioned in many of the addresses that I've done, both to the 33rd Guam legislature and the numerous organizations throughout the community. And as the Colonel alluded to, we have to be able to collaborate with the community. We cannot do this alone, and we all understand that.
Cruz shared that he is grateful for the support to not only him individually, but rather toward the entire department. He emphasized his efforts to make changes for the betterment of the department in order to serve and protect the people of Guam. Cruz covered a couple of topics, one reiterating the transparency of the police department, as well as his focus on the Crimes Against Tourists program.
We are placing a focus down in Tumon, but we do realize the fact that crimes are occurring against our tourists, not just in the Tumon area. So we're mindful of that, we're cognizant of that, and we are working very diligently out on patrol, and as well as with our unmarked officers to go out there and work diligently to keep those parks and places that our tourists come to see, keep those places safe as well.
He mentioned that he appreciates the community's support despite the loss of 4 officers since his May 23rd appointment to Chief of Police. And when asked about the detainee suicide of Petty Officer Dumitru Lobanov, he stated that the internal investigations were completed.
We found there to be no wrongdoing on the part of the officer. The officers that were involved in that incident, that case has been closed. We are looking at our policies and our procedures to ensure that we are doing our part to mitigate incidences like that from occurring in the future.
Cruz states that the processing officers are no longer armed and that GPD has future plans to move the Hagåtña precinct to a location that will better serve in processing detainees. He also states that community policing is at the forefront of his plan and assures that the civilian volunteer police reserve standards for volunteers are the same as the standards placed on full-time police officers. Cruz shares that all the new plans and improvements are with the community's best interest in mind.
Thank you to the community, thank you to the public.
Brittany Bell, PNC.
Thanks, Brittany. For more details of what was addressed at today's GPD press conference, visit PacificNewsCenter.com.